We're back again, but I got something a little different today. We're going to be taking a look at something very specific instead of just some general golf stuff. So I went to make a purchase and I needed to get $65 spent to get free shipping. So I was looking around. I'm like, oh, you know what? I might as well get a dozen of golf balls just in case. My uncle had actually purchased Supersoft, Callaway Supersoft for me for Christmas actually. It's a really nice ball. I hit it a lot last year too actually. That was those red balls I was using. But I figured I might as well get another dozen. And I accidentally bought the wrong one. So it's interesting. I purchased these here. I did buy yellow ones on purpose, but I bought Callaway Supersoft Max. Now, if you're new to this, last year or for forever, up until this year, they had Magna. So it's actually a larger golf ball. And I don't think you really can tell. We might do a comparison side by side, but it's not really noticeable, I feel like. You will see it, obviously, you know, if you really are careful about looking at it, but so obviously the big noticeable thing is the color, of course, so a little imperfect, but I think, yeah, I think if you look at it perfectly, you know, if you're very biased about it, you can see it. I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, they're huge, it's ridiculous looking. I think that's mostly the placebo effect, right? If somebody tells you it's bigger and you've never played with something like that, you're probably more prone to react to that. But yeah, I mean, especially when you have it straight down, I think people are saying like, you know, if you have it like this as well, you can kind of test. Yeah, I don't really feel like that. At least on the camera, it doesn't really feel like that. But other way around, obviously, it completely eclipses it. So yeah, I think it's like 1/3 of an inch or something only. But the goal apparently is to distribute the weight, make it easier to launch better. If you hit it thin, instead you'll hit it 1/3 of an inch less thin. So we, of course, I always struggle with that. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to play around with these golf balls today. And hopefully I won't lose any of them, but we got a whole dozen just in case. And I'll probably not do a lot of commentary on the round itself. I just want to focus on the balls. Otherwise, let's try to see the shots. Felt so good off the face and it went really high, so I do think there's something to it. I've certainly hit it further as the bell, always a good point of reference. So this is a very good shot in for me, and yeah, I'll say if there's one day to not play this color ball, this would be it with the dandelions, but it's a different color, right? So I'm surprised by that. I didn't catch it very clean, I guess. It went really high up in the air. So 2 for 2 on that. I would say that that's not a good thing for me. I don't really know. Like, can somebody explain to me why everybody says like hitting the ball high in the air is like objectively better? All right, chance for par. One of the things I was really looking for was what it felt like off the putter. I just wonder if, especially with the arm lock putter, where you have to have a lot of forward press anyway, would there be too much coming into the ball there? But look at this. Oh my God. Pause that thought. Look at this. This is now a water hazard. What the hell? I got a lot of rain. Apparently, dude said over 3 inches of rain last night or yesterday, last 2 days. So we'll see how this round transpires. Even though I came up so short with the second shot, I'm very satisfied with pretty much every time the club met the ball there on that hole. It's a pretty good 5 for me. If you're somehow just seeing this for the first time, I'm pretty happy with bogey. I always say like bogey on every hole, that would be a very good round, meaning it'd be very consistent as well. You know, I kind of thought like I was getting sold a dream kind of thing, you know, like why would anybody buy this ball? What's the purpose of it? Is it even real? And so far I would say, yeah, it is. It does feel like what they said is going to happen is happening. And I don't know if that's the ball or placebo again, like I was saying, but so far so good. Let's keep moving. Really high launch yet again. Even teed it down a little bit. Still felt like really good off the club face. I guess that's maybe because it's super soft. I haven't played them too much recently, but yeah, really good off the club face. Just leaked a bit right. Might have lost it. We'll see if we can find it. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. A lot of times if I let it slice a bit there, it'll clip the top of the trees and get caught up there and get lost there in the forest. But yeah, this is actually pretty good. This is not our worst approach in, just have this tree blocking us. But I will say it's actually, at least so far, I found it easier to find the ball because it's slightly bigger and it's kind of sitting up a bit more. So that's a nice little thing too. Originally I was worried about getting it up over the tree, but of course with this new higher ball flight, I guess I should not have been. Came up a bit short and right, and it looks like it plugged a bit. But yeah, again, easy to find even in the plug state. All right, 2 holes, 2 bogeys, but that's pretty good for me. I would say that long shots are actually more consistent, flying higher. I don't know, again, if that's a good thing, but it's interesting. And didn't really draw either there. I was trying to hit a little draw over that tree. It drew a little bit. People were saying that this ball is gonna have less action on it because it's bigger. We'll see on this hole. It's a par 3 coming up. All right, bit of a shank, I guess you would say. It pushed it pretty hard, didn't come anywhere close to the green. Not gonna blame the ball for that though, certainly. Oh boy. All right, a thin chip or pitch, not necessarily new to me. I will say though, usually when I hit it that thin, it kind of just dribbles on the ground. This actually got up in the air and kind of, it's like a little stinger almost, like went pretty far. Nice. I will say, especially off the driver, it feels like I'm hitting a bigger ball. I could actually tell off the driver. The other shots don't really feel that way, especially I thought putter would be the same way, but it's not. Can't really tell at all. But off the driver, it really feels like I'm hitting a bigger ball. It feels like the club is being impacted more by it. I'm not sure that's a good or bad thing, but it's noticeable. All right, quite the strong hook here. Really pulled it too, but we found it again. That's the thing, I'll say it's maybe the yellow, but I'm having no trouble finding this ball. I do think it's because it is slightly bigger, but anyway, pretty much no chance at getting there, I don't think. So we just kind of get it up there, hopefully over. I mean, especially with this ball, I think we have a good chance of doing that. Surprise, did not get over and got caught up here in this tree. So this time at least we have a little bit more of a clear shot in, but pretty much have to hug this tree to get it there again. I will say one thing about Supersofts, they do scuff pretty easy. I don't know if that's just bad luck on my part or what, but didn't really hit the tree. I mean, I kind of just clipped the top of the branches. That's a little bit of a scuff on the ball, but not a problem at all. All right, hit again, another little hook here, but I will say it's actually really well. It's much further than I would expect, and the ball flew well past, well up over these trees. So again, it's very consistently high ball flight. I feel like I should tee the ball down a bit more, but it just doesn't feel comfortable. I'm not really like, I'm kind of like in a little bit of a mental block with where tee height should be right now. But yeah, we have a good shot in. Let's see what we can do. A lot of mishits with the irons today too. I don't know, it's 2 now that have just kind of gone far right of the target. I don't think, again, it's the ball, but something to note. Yeah, a lot of trouble hitting out of these extremely wet lies, and obviously we're gonna have trouble with that today on this hole. If you've been following the series, that one drew way too much. Actually, it was kind of just straight. I didn't really hit it on line that time, or I didn't really line it up well, I guess. It's actually better than I thought, but yeah, well left to target. So we have a pitch in again. I'll say though, again, very easy to find. I'm very satisfied with this. I've hit a couple really errant shots and I've had no problem finding it. If you know me at all, I always have trouble finding golf balls. Even when I hit them straight or where I want them to, I kind of just don't know where to look. This ball, no problem at all. Probably thanks to the color though. That's really nice. It's always something up here, I'll tell you what. Alright, so pretty good. Ground's pretty wet again, but just short of where we'd normally be, I think. Not too bad, but pretty long in. Alright, not a great second shot, not a great third shot. Didn't reach the green on the second and then flew well past the pin with the pitch, but we made 2 good putts to reel it back in. Hit a really pure shot there, dead center of the club, flew really high, and again, a little short. Again, I don't know about this height thing. The rough is really thick over here. I actually had a lot of trouble finding this ball. It took me a few minutes. I had to really pace around here and find it, but it's right there. Pretty good. That's a great putt. I really like this ball for putting. It's actually quite nice. In terms of striking, everything's been solid, but putting, it's really nice. It rolls really well. That was hit so pure, hit really well off the face. But yeah, a lot of draw to it. I think the wind did a number to it. It's pretty far to the left. Wow, come on. Oh, we're not breaking any records today, man. Really having a bad day scoring wise, but I hit some really good shots that feel great off the club face. Ball's very responsive. I really like it, but just not playing very well overall. right, that's a perfect line. If you've watched me play this hole in the past, you'll know we've been seeking this line for a while now. This is exactly what we wanted. Hit the hybrid here. If we hit the driver, we've been really in a good position, but I always feel like it's safer to do this. Absolutely disastrous 9 holes. That's the worst I've played in a very long time, actually. It's kind of weird, but again, I don't really feel like I hit the ball poorly at any given time. Just some bad swings and some bad scoring, but I think we're just gonna play the front 9 again. For some reason, just a big group of foursome just went out on the back as I was turning, so whatever. Let's see what we can do. It's a good opportunity to see how we can compare holes for holes here with this ball. I hit that one really well again, just like on the first tee. Almost the same shot, a little bit closer in this time, so hopefully we have a better distance. I actually hit that little barely launched shot that I've been talking about. Ball barely gets off the ground, but again, I think with this ball it did get a little bit higher than my normal trajectory. Again. Oh, man. Come on, I should have went in, man. That was a good roll, too. It's funny how I've almost played the hole the exact same time. I noticed the first time I played it, we had, there was 2 ball marks right by where my ball was, and I fixed them, and I could tell the same 2 ball marks that I fixed earlier were right by where my 4th shot was there as well, so it's pretty funny. Absolutely crushed that time, trying to tee it down a little bit lower, and I think it paid a little dividends there. I'm never confident, like I said, with tee height, but that seemed like the perfect spot. It was really launched off the face, and it got a little bit higher than I would have expected to, considering how low the tee actually was. Hit that one a little fat. Ground's still pretty wet. Yet to hit a green in regulation. Ground was wet there yet again, and I could find it easily. I really like this. This is actually like really, it makes me a lot more confident when I'm playing, because I spend a lot of time on finding golf balls at times, and it really wears on me. So it's kind of nice to just walk up and immediately see the golf ball. I also say, like, first impressions, the balls aren't holding the green very well. I feel like a lot of the chips that I've hit are bouncing out and not really stopping. Now, I've had 1 or 2 that did. I'm not gonna say I'm not the problem here, I'm sure I am, but I would also be surprised that a Supersoft would not hold the green like that. Another chance at these par 5s here. We made a right mess of them before, but hit the ball a lot better now. Let's see if we can't do it. I say maybe the most improved club with these has been the driver, though. It feels so different coming out the face too. Like I said, it feels like I'm hitting more of the face, and it's noticeable. Nothing else has gone particularly noteworthy, but the drives have all been very consistent. Man, I just can't play well on this hole today. It seems, hopefully, get it up over this tree and land it soft. Although I think the flag, yeah, if I remember correctly, the flag's way up front, so it's going to be pretty tough. Not enough. Yeah. The more I play, the weirder this is getting. These are the best drives, like collectively. Usually I don't hit a lot of drivers because if we're on the back nine, most of the holes are not using driver for the par 4s. But this is crazy. I'm hitting these so well. These are so perfect. I just need to score. Incredible series of shots here. 3 excellent shots, and we have our first birdie putt of the round. He's gonna get there. Very weak birdie putt, a little shy there, but again, I really like the way the ball feels off the putter. It's really smooth. Second putt was perfect, dead center in the cup. I like it a lot. All right, probably about 5 or 10 yards closer than we were first time we played here. I came up short again. Some good putting though, saving the 5 there. Pretty satisfied with that first putt, just misread it a bit, maybe mishit it a bit too. I'm surprised how left it went. I can tell I extended too far in the backswing. Ended up pulling it way left on the other hole there, but it was hit so well. Really bad first putt there, but yeah, they shot over the trees. I guess I was just a bit offline. I think it probably would have been good if I aimed it a bit more left, but another 5. First time through here, I hit 6. Usually I'd been hitting 7, but last round I played here, 7 did not get me anywhere close. Then I hit 6 very long and to the left, so I think we'll go back to 7. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I hit that one just on the inside, but pretty much dead center of the club face. Teed it up lower than I normally would, and it flew. That seems like the perfect example shot for these balls. That thing absolutely flew up in the air. it was hit really well. I absolutely crushed that. That might be the best iron I've hit all season, to be honest. Yeah, so hole usually plays about 155-ish, probably up front, so maybe like 152, 151-ish. Usually hit that club about 150-ish, 155-ish. And there's a flag. Ball is all the way back there, so we're quite long. I don't know where it landed, but oh yeah, there's the ball mark. So it stopped dead, man. That's a really, really nice iron shot, especially considering how we played it the first time through. And winding birdie putt, nowhere close. We made a nice save for the par there. That's good. We've been playing pretty well here. So last hole, definitely my least favorite hole. I've been hitting the driver so well. Let's just take a crack at it. It has to be perfect, but I think actually since the fairway is so wet, as long as it's not in the trees, it'll probably stop short. And we've been hitting it so well. We haven't lost a ball yet either, so might as well. Let's see what happens. All right, full coverage. We did not hit the shot shape I wanted. I haven't been hitting a draw with the driver much at all. My original plan is to draw it over the trees, but like I said, I thought that I could start it a little bit more left, and typically if I hit it straight or hit a slight draw left, it would kind of ricochet off the hill and be very close to the weeds or in the weeds. Happens a lot. Today I had a slight fade and it was kind of right at the center of the fairway, so we'll see. I think it should be safe. I didn't hear anything. A little bit in the rough, I suppose, but yeah, that's not bad. Sitting up too, pretty nice. I'll tell you what, this is the best shot we've hit in this hole in a while. First time I've hit driver in a while. Tell you, I don't know if there's like literally something wrong with me in this hole. How do I put the first shot dead center and the second shot I end up putting in the woods? I'm not losing this ball though. There's no way I'm losing it. We got to find it. Might take 20 minutes, but I will find it. All right, I managed to find it. It's actually like right in there. I had no business going in there, especially early in the spring. I don't know, but I really wanted to get it, and I did. On our way to triple, but I don't even care because we didn't lose that ball. It's a moral victory right there. End up missing pretty far right. This is our fifth shot because we went in the woods, and it's gonna be a really tough one for us. We have to pretty much land it well short. We need to make sure we don't go any further, because if it goes much farther past the pin, we're gonna lose it all the way down that ridge. All right, so let's have a talk about the Callaway Supersoft Max. Again, used to be known as the Magna, I think, something like that. I'm not exactly sure if they're the same ball, to be honest, because they rebranded them, and I don't know why they would do that. I don't know a lot about anything golf related like that, but I assume something changed. The only thing I can think of is that they thought they would trick more people into buying them if they had a simpler name that didn't make it seem like they were a different golf ball, and that's exactly what they did to me. That being said, it was the exact same price as the regular Supersofts. Did they do anything different? I'm not really sure. I think a lot of it is placebo. You know, like, it's in my head that I'm gonna hit the ball higher, so some subtle adjustment in my swing causes it to happen. I don't really know, but I did hit some of my best shots, especially with the driver, some really, really good shots. We didn't really hit any balls that like had significant side spin on them though. And I do think that might be something with the ball, because it did say, actually here, let's take a look at the box. It says right on the box, Max distance, max forgiveness, distance max, tolerance max. That's different language, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't really know what I have to say. I don't have a lot of respect for how every single ball basically says like, oh, our ball is the best distance or something like that. It's like, yeah, they can't all be, right? Like that doesn't even really make sense. So yeah, it does conform to the rules of golf in case anybody's confused. And I guess that's because it's the same weight as a regular ball. And that's like a big part of it. Like it has to be the same weight. So even though it's slightly bigger, it's the same. It's fine. You could use it anywhere, I guess. I don't know of anybody who actually uses this ball, like an actual good player. But if anybody does know one, let me know. I'd love to see what they're doing with it. But yeah. So about the purchase itself, you know, I don't really have an issue with it because it was the exact same price as the regular balls. It feels like I got sucked, you know, like those balls that are like a Polaris or whatever that ball is. It's like, oh, it can literally only go straight. It's like, okay, that's a $40 dozen, right? If I bought that and I hit a slice once, I'm like, oh, I'm getting my money back. That's ridiculous. But this is the same price. It's literally, it was $20, you know, and it's the exact same price as the regular Supersoft. So I can't even really be mad because it's the same ball. It's just slightly bigger. And I will say that it was considerably easier to find these balls. And I know they're yellow, but it just takes a lot of stress off the round for me. So I'm very satisfied with everything about them, really. Will I buy them again? I don't know. I did not lose one either. That is a huge deal. Usually 18 holes up here, I lose at least one. Yeah, I guess some of the holes I typically lose a ball on. I didn't play today though. But yeah, one of my worst rounds though. Also, that has to be said, that's one of my worst rounds in a while. And we did have some really good holes, but the thing is we had like really good shots, like great drivers, certain great irons. Couldn't really get the ball to hold, the green to hold some of the shots, and just didn't really hit a lot of greens in regulation today. So I didn't play well at all. Like, this is not a good round of golf. I'm very disappointed with the round. Considering last round was almost tied for our best round ever, this was a very bad round. But I have to say, I'm almost like satisfied with it just because I felt like I learned something about these new golf balls. So I don't know, interested in hearing people's thoughts if you've ever hit something like this. Has anybody even heard of a ball that's bigger? I think that's kind of the big thing. A lot of people look at it as like snake oil or, you know, quackery in general. We're like, what is that? You're not going to hit that, are you? You know, that's way too big or something. It's like, it's not really that different. And it's not like you're paying some absurd price for something. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I got ripped off. I don't feel like it really did that much, but it's not a problem at all. Like, I'm satisfied. So I'd be interested in hearing your guys' thoughts. Oh, and always, scorecard will be in the description. There's a link to a spreadsheet where I've cataloged every single 18-hole round we've done so far, so you can see. Take a screenshot of the card as well. That'll be there. You can see how we normally compare and maybe, you know, see if there's any hole that it really helps. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.